Howdy folks, this is Jackers back again with another episode of our Starfield Let's Play here in a very, very normal place to stand, on Mars. I believe this is episode 15, and there we go. Now we are on normal ground, and
in order to avoid injuries, please report any spills or unsafe conditions on the upper levels to the Cydonia Department of Public Works.
this concludes our public service announcement for the day. Alright. Sarah should be there somewhere. I'm sure she'll catch up. Okay, we are off to... Oh, look! There's our friends, Hadrian and Percival. Okay, well, there's Sarah. I guess Hadrian and Percival probably just stopped on the other side of the airlock. Just, kind of curious if they're going to come out. Kind of don't think they will. Anyway, yeah, we were just talking to, still checking, Percival and Hadrian. And now we are going to Mast to meet Hadrian and talk to the UC cabinet, I believe, leaving the dusty surface of Mars in our trusty boat, because we haven't managed to steal another one just quite yet. Okay, let's go straight to the cockpit.
All right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
We are going back to New Atlantis. So... Oh, right. I remember that. Okay. Let's see. Mast. Why don't we just go straight there? Alrighty. We are here at Mast in New Atlantis, going to meet Hadrian, who is a pale blue dot
Captain,
right there.
over here.
Hi, Hadrian.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon.
Okay.
One-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus.
Oh.
Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Huh. They put him in prison, right? I think? Or something. I remember trying to remember those panels on the tour we did for the Vanguard initiation. Anyway, this Vevictus must have been an impressive commander for the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Well, you are not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, that's their problem and not yours.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Or that we are approaching a point of no return. So, honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Okay. Any suggestions on what I or we should say to the cabinet?
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
Okay, your eyes are red. Is that the result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Are you willing to tell me any more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Ve Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Okay, so I don't think I have any more questions. Let's roll.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Nothing I like more than stage references. Thank you, Hadrian. Stand by on cabinet meeting. As long as we're not in a rush, I mean... Okay, there we go. Cabinet Chambers, Interstellar Affairs. United Colonies. For all time, always. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hadrian Sinan.
Welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Hadrian made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Well, would say that we need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the Chief Diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium.
Oh, I like her.
I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there
I
should
start
be
now.
no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you let me take the guy in the green coat the next time I have to go fight a Terramorph, and if he survives, he can come back and tell you all about it. Well, you know, it wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. But this is more interesting. I only know what I was told, ma'am. Its tissue matched the ones from Londinian.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
No, actually, not her.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes, if the fear is that the data is being weaponized, the Terramorph program failed. The data isn't dangerous.
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
We turned off the
Incident.
microwave. Where'd
Chief
everybody go?
Sergeant, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The
Seem like a good idea now,
creatures evaded
Sarah?
our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later.
I reiterate
Chief
my
Sarkin,
request for the
order
guy in the green coat.
evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, We'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Yes, ma'am. I still want to take the guy in the green coat. I don't think he fully understands what a terramorph is yet. I really want him to get a good look. So, you know, he can tell the other factions. All right, let's go. Where are we going? We going here? No. Inaccessible. We are definitely not going there. Hi. Well, hello there. Do you mind if I use that now? Thank you. Okay, choose floor. The Nat Station. Okay. Grab the blue thing. Okay.
That's it. Now hit him with...
Wait, what did I get? EM. Okay, I think these are the less than lethal. Okay. So... that's this one, right? Okay. I don't... Okay, well, let's,
Everything you've got!
Kill me! Big Not another
you,
one.
stop.
This one's down.
Okay, everybody's down. Equip followers with EM weapons. Yeah, I don't know what she's packing. Well, that one's got a blue bar, that one's got a blue bar. You don't have a blue bar. Hey, buddy. You don't have a blue bar either.
Lights out on that one.
Okay.
Guess they ran away.
This guy doesn't have a blue bar. Still. Okay, blue bar. Everybody seems like they're down. And now she has a pale blue dot. Okay. Hi.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Okay, well, it sounds like we need to hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Take off and nuke the site from orbit. Copy that. All right. I think she told us about the whole pheromonic projection thing. I don't think she used those words, but when we were on Tau Ceti. Okay, going to spaceport.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
Oh, okay, hang on. Firepower. Hitman, Coachman, Furious. Each consecutive hit deals more damage. Plus 15% while aiming. I like that. Rapid calibrated solstice. Yeah, no, I mean, except for being a double-barreled shotgun, that's gonna be a better deal. This only has 7 in the mag. We only have 222 rounds, 347 for this. Do you have anything in the fully automatic category? 3 damage. 3 damage. Well, it looks like we do, but nothing I would necessarily want to use unless I had no choice. Well, that one does 5 damage. I guess it's better than 3. And we're not really dealing with personnel here, so where did that go? I'm just not sure how much rate of fire differentiates. Well, let's try it first, and we can switch to the coachman on the fly. Okay.
All citizens are required to
It's not real. It's not real. Okay, well, if it's not real, then I won't worry about it.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
Okay, well. Okay, reloading. And changing weapons. Where is the coach? Okay. Yeah, definitely like that one more. Okay, and using a med pack. Okay, one down. Well, just grab all this stuff.
That behind.
Oh, okay, Sarah, you're here, are you? I won't do that then. Leave any of that stuff that I just took behind. Here's a fella who's got some things we'll take. Look like rounds and maybe some kind of chem or stim. That looks explosive. What am I looking for? Something back here. Speak to the fire. Okay, what?
Don't
Hi.
let him get into your head.
Wait, okay, no, somebody over there. Hi.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
You know what? I think we need you guys to stay here and protect the spaceport. You stay here.
Your call. We're on the line.
Yep, that's good. See, he's got that great big minigun. If that thing can control him, I don't really think I want to see what he's going to do with it. Okay, well, let's get this party started, right? Okay, well, I was closer to that than I would have preferred. Alright. I don't know how much limb shots matter. Let's find out. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. And using a med pack. Hey, nice shot, Adrian.
Make sure we strip everything useful from that thing.
And Sarah, nice shot while you phase through the glass. That's really impressive work. Okay. Well, this ship's seen better days. It's not ours, right? No, ours is over there. Okay. Good. We still have a boat. There's a lot of this explosive stuff. If we could get them close to it. You know, especially closer than us. Here, you hold that. Maybe have another one while you're at it. And then a couple of those. You yell at that crate. cargo crates. Always getting the terramorphs away. Hey, buddy, why don't you come over here? We can see if we can find one of those, hey, do I have any? Well, first let's do that. Second, let's come into throwables. I have a fragmentation mine. I'll try that. Hey, buddy, why don't you come over here? Leave Adrian alone. Come step on the landmine. Fine. It's kind of inevitable whenever you put a mine down.
Nice work, Captain.
They're not going to go for it.
It's over. Thank God.
Okay,
If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
So
I have something I need to discuss with you.
I imagine it's not that your outburst in the cabinet room there was out of line. So I'm going to ignore you for right now. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, let's see how everybody's doing down here. Fire team's still alive. Okay, running out of oxygen, running up CO2. Hi.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
Well, there were 3 of us. But, you know, you guys held the line here. You're the heroes, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
Oh,
I don't
that's
want to
because
think
you didn't
what would have happened if
play
you
with
two
those.
hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Copy that, Hadrian. Let's go talk to the President. Because that's a thing we do now.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Okay, Mass District. Okay, and... well, they scraped up all the civilians. That's good. You okay there, UC?
My partner's all right. He's getting stitched up instead of zipped up, thanks to you.
Glad to hear you're okay. Nice touch, that. All right, let's see. Cabinet Chambers and Interstellar Affairs.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Yeah, like, where'd the green guy go?
Those creatures killed UC
Hi.
citizens.
Captain?
They're not
Hadrian?
anymore.
It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Agreed.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Well, if you're sure that's the wisest course of action, then yes, ma'am.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Yes, ma'am, of course. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Yes?
I'm gonna go check in with
Thank
Chief
you.
Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Okay, well, congratulations, Major. Okay, we can talk to Sarah in a second. One thing I'm noticing in the background is I'm hearing my kitty's toy. It's kind of a little ball on a track, so if you're hearing that, I apologize. Anyway, hi, Sarah.
Thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now. I received a message from Constellation, and it's given me a lot to think about.
Well, if it's an emergency of some kind, we can head there.
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
It's just a list of requests. Things I would normally handle if I was there. But I'm not. I'm out here instead with you.
So, do you feel like you're ignoring your responsibilities?
Something like that. It's difficult to explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department.
That must have been painful, considering that was your department.
Yeah, I suppose painful is an appropriate way to put it. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders.
Well, you were clearly fighting some impossible odds.
Yeah? You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination. So I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil. Because of my lack of foresight, all I ended up with was a shattered division and a bunch of excuses.
No, you were the head of the Navigator Corps, and they wanted discoveries which you would not have made pushing a pencil across a desk, unless I misunderstand what the Navigator Corps does. I don't believe anyone would have pushed harder than you.
That's just it, though. Did I push too hard? Did they shut us down because I wasn't quietly sitting at my desk approving meaningless memos? We'll never know.
You just said they shut you down because there were no discoveries. If you weren't out trying to make discoveries, pushing a pencil wouldn't have helped. Okay. Well, you know what? At least Constellation has been a great success.
Well, that brings us to this message now, doesn't it? Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure all the accounts are balanced.
Okay, here's the thing about being in charge. You are allowed to delegate. So if you don't like pushing a pencil and you don't like balancing books, assign someone else to do it. And then do the job that you're good at and let them do the job that they're good at. So, let's see. You're afraid that your absence will cause Constellation to collapse?
Yes, exactly. If it's obvious to you, imagine how obvious it is to someone like Barrett or Mateo. Oh, they must be itching to replace me by now. God damn it.
Seriously, this is way overreacting. I wouldn't worry about it. We'll figure it out together. We can do some leadership classes. I'm sure I can help you.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Oh, here you are trying to help me and I'm yelling at you. You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the people at Constellation give a damn. Maybe if you give them a chance. I know I do.
Of course you do. I'm just not thinking straight right now. Phew. This has taken a lot out of me, so maybe we should just leave things right here.
That's probably a good idea.
Thank you for being there and listening. It helped. It really did.
My pleasure. I had a fellow once who worked for me, was a PhD, but really, really wanted to work in theater, which is not uncommon. We all had degrees of one sort or another. Mine wasn't in theater either. Thing was, he was kind of like a border collie. He always really, really wanted to help, and that was really nice, but sometimes other things needed to happen and I needed to think, so I would just find a task for him that he enjoyed, or sometimes just a task to get him out of the way. If you know the people that you work with, and you know what they are good with, and you know what you are good with, just like pieces to a puzzle, you can find a way to have everyone do their very best. If you are concerned about how you look in front of other people, if you are concerned about how you look to people who are higher up than you, not only will you fail at your task, you will obviously fail at your task in front of the people who are above you and the people who are below you. Do your job to the best of your ability. Don't worry about how you look. That's what people notice. Okay, there ends our leadership lesson of the day. And
Sergeant Yumi's looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so I think we will talk to the next pale blue dot when next we meet. So let's stand out here and look at the pretty flags. And I will say thank you so much for joining Sarah and Hadrian and myself here in our 15th episode of our Starfield Let's Play. I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you found the video entertaining and maybe even just a little bit informative. I would like to invite you to think of something you are truly grateful for. Something that brings a smile to your face, a true warmth to your heart. Maybe it is your best friend or your favorite book or movie or song, the love of your life, your beloved pet. Maybe just someplace you dream of visiting. Whatever it is that brings a smile to your face, hold on to it now. Hold on to them now and let it brighten your day. I would also like to ask you to be kind, not just to others, but to yourself as well. And most of all, I would like to ask you to please, please take care.